singer, activist, mermaid explorer, UFO experiencer, paranormal performer, and now...
I mean, I knew my sister was cool, but like, psychic?
Psychic. In previous episodes, we have seen and heard that Demi is a singer, an activist, a mermaid explorer, a UFO experiencer. What else is there left to do? Well, now Demi's a psychic, of course. And we're back by unpopular demand with the 4th episode of Demi Lovato's Unidentified. Now, for the uninitiated, you're in for a treat. You might want to check out the playlist where I covered the previous 3 episodes. It follows naturally to go into the 4th then. But if you're only here because you heard Demi Lovato and Psychic, then I get you. I get you. In this episode, we will be journeying in the van, staying in a luxury house, and exploring already clearly established relationships with B-plot characters. And on top of that, Demi fucking Lovato, as Demi discovers how to be a psychic and open their third eye to communicate with the aliens, the living aliens. There's different ones. Some of them, kidnap you and give birth, and some are mermaids, and some are actually ghosts. I covered it already. This time we're meeting specific ones in Arizona, and Arizona is apparently a hotspot for this. So join me, anonymous users with anime profile pictures, as we finally figure out the way into which we can communicate effectively, telepathically with aliens. Before I get into it, please remember not to send anybody mention any rude, hateful, disgusting, mean-ass comments. It's not very cool and the aliens would not approve. So what is a UFO experiencer to do after they have made alien hybrid babies, after they have swam to go find the mer aliens, and sang to the ghosts of aliens past? Well, there's just one thing left to do, and that is go to a place where you can meditate in peace and open your third eye and communicate directly to the holy alien ghosts. Now, if you were as stunning and as brave as Demi Lovato, where would you find such a fucking place?
So we are gonna go to basically the most spiritual place in the United States, Sedona, Arizona.
Oh my gosh!
Ah yes, Sedona, Arizona.
What I know about Sedona is that spiritual seekers have flocked to Sedona for decades, and many believe that they have seen UFOs. Sedona contains energy vortexes in the rocks surrounding the town.
Demi and the rest of the Scooby Gang once again got in the van, heading to Arizona, where we meet, I shit you not, Nick motherfucking Pope. Who is Nick Pope? Of course you fucking know who Nick Pope is. He's the author of this random article, that random article, and fuck it, the New York Times, I guess? He published it? Yeah, anyway, let him tell you about him.
It's interesting that we get UFO hotspots. So who knows what extraterrestrials might be thinking and what it might be about these areas like Sedona that attracts them.
So unfortunately, something that nobody prepared for was that they were going to have to actually sit and receive a lecture. And they responded in a true millennial fashion.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Now this is a real
Whoa, it's amazing.
Whoa.
switch.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Wow.
Wow indeed. You can literally tell that somebody on Demi's team had to write a stern email about how fucking boring this all was. Like, sir, this could have been an email.
This was a very weird one, actually.
That's in the LA Times.
Yeah, and that, whatever it is in those searchlights, and they were shooting at it. This is called Battle of Los Angeles.
Wow.
Finally, somebody spoke to Nick and told him to ask a question which centers our protagonist once again. Yes, babe, your time to shine. Nick has asked, have any of you seen a UFO? Are there any UFO experiencers amongst all of you? And of course, we already know from watching the previous 3 James of episodes that Demi does indeed meet the minimum requirements of a UFO experiencer. And Demi gets to flex this on fucking Nick Pope, who has not yet experienced any of this. What a fucking L. How dare you give the clause? Like, clearly Demi should have presented this clause. After Nick decides to not be as boring, he informs us of Project Stargate.
That we did into mind-to-mind communication. They call it remote viewing. It's the ability of some people to perceive things beyond the visual. And the US government actually had Project Stargate.
What is Stargate? Well, you don't care, but let me tell you anyway. This is a thing called remote viewing programs. So in other words, when you literally open your third eye, you can literally see places and things from perspectives where you are not physically at. That means if you have a homeboy who's an outer space homeboy, then you can actually channel them and hope that their third eye is also open, and then see through their perspective, and then tell the plebs about, how A, you're the best, and B, you can now effectively communicate telepathically with extraterrestrials. Yes, so let's see how that fucking plays out. So after we flex on Nick, who is our next victim? Well, Demi has decided to grace the presence of this dude. Yes, we're doing remote viewing, which means that Demi gets to tell us how to meditate, and then we too can partake in opening our third eye and meeting aliens and hearing about all the fun, cool stuff that they do in space, which is, as far as I remember, the only thing that aliens tend to do is spy on us, sometimes kidnap us, sometimes become mermaids, sometimes have intercourse and procreate with us, but I don't have a firm grasp on what they do otherwise, unless of course their idea of fun is watching us as humans in a rat cage. Demi, are you sure this is the right use for your talents?
What makes it possible to remote view, we're getting into sort of the area of mysticism, that the connectedness of all things and on some kind of vibrational level. But it's yet to be discovered exactly what it is. It's a psychic technique. We all have this ability. We're all born with this ability to tune into things at a distance. They could be in the past, they can be in the future, they could be. So I'm going to send you two out to a place in the area here. And I don't know what it's where you guys
don't even know what it is.
I don't know. You guys are just going to go there.
Wow. Okay.
We want the target, whatever it is, or wherever you are, to sort of stand out. Something you can point out and freeze yourself, but look at it and just keep holding this intention.
Okay, finally, we get back to the point here, which is of course Demi, and therefore the rest of them need to fuck off. And this is the most psychic PC nice way you could possibly tell people to fuck off, which is go. Yes, what is that? Where to? Just go. Just go. Let the soul aliens guide you, my child. Just go.
To feel the presence of where they are, to feel them, and to begin to look through their eyes and see what they're seeing. Energy. And move to the target area. As you move to this target area, what do you perceive?
Feels man-made.
Can you reach out and touch that part that's man-made? Explore it. Explore it. I want you to touch it.
Smooth.
Smooth, okay. And it can morph, it can change shape. Just let it be what it is.
Okay, editing wise, this is one of my favorite scenes because clearly there's some animosity behind the scenes. You can clearly tell by the way that the editors really do fuck with Demi, and how dare they. I'm glad that they lost their job after this episode was done. I think that they deserved it. They're all scum. Clearly they do not recognize who they are dealing with. But as you can see, Demi is over here trying to describe the textures, and I regret to inform you, on the screen next to her we see none of the above.
Okay, so write that word calm. Just write them down as we go. Just do a quick sketch the best you can.
It's another thing.
Wow.
After they meet back up, you can see that Demi has drawn something. It's something. Well, let's just compare experiences.
We've all been waiting for. Show us what you got.
So we visited this.
Uh-huh.
Whoa. Demi, this looks it looks the same to me. Wow.
Before we continue, just look at this picture right here. Ah, yes, we finally have the answer to the age-old questions of, do the curtains match the drapes? As you can see here, this tumbleweed is clearly a statue. It's a modern interpretation of it, and if you've ever seen modern art, you will know exactly what I mean. This is not fucking fake.
I hope she can feel this, because the energy here is so, like, calm.
I feel really calm.
Bingo! They found a rare term to describe a peaceful, natural setting when one practices meditation. Well, would you look at that? I think I cracked the code. Ladies and gentlemen, you have all heard of the psychic possibilities of a tinfoil hat, but have you considered the absolute magnitude and power of the tinfoil pants? Yes, look at it. This is clearly the secret. Our queen is playing 4D chess. Sit your ass down, take notes. The merry band wibble wobbles out of that joint and meet up with the most severe case of Stockholm Syndrome I've ever seen in my entire life.
I help people have interdimensional contact. I was abducted at the age of 18. That's how I learned how to connect in an appropriate way with extraterrestrials. So because I've had the amount of experiences that I've had, I'm considered an expert in this field. Mostly my technique is through telepathy.
Yes, this is big sad. This woman was not only abducted by aliens and supposedly experimented on, but she also now has grown this yearning, this longing to actually communicate with them telepathically still till this day. We don't understand why, and here's a funny little story. When she got abducted, it was while she was at a silence retreat. So in other words, when she came back, she was still there for like 30 more days or whatever, and she wasn't allowed to tell anybody because, again, it was a silence retreat. Now, some people might describe this as a psychological breakdown which needs intensive therapy and care, and a hint of Stockholm Syndrome with some factitious creature, but this is obviously not true. Those are all liars, haters, and manipulators, and they will not tell you what the government is trying to hide, which is that this woman is a truth teller, and she will guide us to see the truth as well. Now, too much time was spent on this rando. Back to Demi.
Wow. This place is absolutely perfect for meditating and making contact, and I'm also very excited for my fans to tune in and hopefully meditate with us.
So you see, while the rest of us are working our best and trying our hardest to be soldiers in this metaphysical universe, Demi is a whole ass captain with a whole ass squad, and she decided to utilize that squad. If you ever wonder what cloud capital is, or how to truly know that you are that bitch and you are that famous and you are that in tune with your UFO experiences, check this shit. Yes, as plebs we may never open our third eye, but with the power of money, fame, and fans, Demi has opened the seventh eye, and we are honored. We are privileged. Witness the second-hand recording of this Omega W.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Let's just watch for erratic behavior because that could be a satellite.
Is that what satellites look like?
Yes.
Shut up, Elizabeth, you hater.
To Demi, and I'm nervous that we're not going to see anything at all.
Matthew, do you see that one up there? That's not a satellite. Thank you for showing yourself. There's two now. Do you see to the right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, we got a big one. Oh, we have two. They must want to ask Demi about some fashion suggestions. So Mathieu had a moment of weakness, but that's okay because Elizabeth destroyed it with facts and logic.
So what does UFO stand for?
Unidentified flying object.
And were you able to identify the objects we saw?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Now, if you listen closely, you can actually hear somebody in real time losing their job.
Hey, excuse me, camera guy, you're kind of in my view. And you should totally turn around. Yeah. I would point the laser at these lights and it would flash back. That's a response to me.
Now, your first thought might be, you in danger, girl. But don't worry. Demi is a singer, a mermaid explorer, activist, UFO experiencer, and now psychic. Our boss babe anime protagonist got this.
They're so grateful and thankful that we are here, but especially that Demi is open to sharing this experience with the world. They have been waiting for the right conduit to come through, and they are so thankful and appreciative of you, Demi.
Now I know what you might be thinking. How is it possible that somebody as well-versed, knowledgeable, and exquisite as Demi Lovato still has space and room to learn anything else that's new? I mean, clearly we're dealing here with a superior human species. Well, this is what Demi had to say.
It just shows that they're listening. Spirits, giants, whatever, might all be connected. Wow.
Isn't that wholesome? You can tell that the real aliens were the ones that she made up along the way. So unironically, I enjoyed this episode more than I did the previous one. I think the previous episode is when they found out that this was going to be the final episode. And I think in this episode, they just didn't give a fuck anymore. Like, they're not even pretending that they're enjoying the lectures anymore. They're not even editing it properly. They're not getting rid of the extra sounds of where Demi is fucking up. And this is so fucking entertaining. This shit is absolute gold. I love it. I would watch it again. And I would say this episode, I would give 4 out of 5 froyos for our girl Demi. Fucking nailed it.
Wow.
I'm just a thought with an opinion and I am not psychic. Pila.